Hello everyone, welcome to our detailed engine assembly tutorial. Today we will guide you through the process of assembling the crankshaft, piston and cylinder head on an engine block attached to the rotating stand. Let's get started. First, ensure the engine block is securely attached to a rotating stand. This allows for easy maneuverability during the assembly process. Next, make sure the bearing and block surface is clean, then attach the main journal shell bearing to their respective position on the cylinder block. Check that it is seated properly after fitting. If you are using the same crankshaft and block, you can reuse your old bearings if the clearance is within the specified limit. If you need to replace any of these parts or want to order new bearings, refer to the bearing selection chart in the workshop manual. The OEM prints number on the block to identify the bore diameter without bearings for each particular journal, and the number on the crank web indicates the diameter of the crankshaft main journal. The bearing thickness can be identified by the paint on the side of the bearing. Special note: make sure that there should be no oil between the bearing backside and the cylinder block or the main bearing cap surface during the fitment process. Apply engine oil to the thrust bearing and install them in the cylinder block between number 2 and number 3 cylinder, ensuring the oil grooves are facing outward. Thrust bearings control the axial movement of the crankshaft and prevent it from moving forward and backward in the engine block. Apply a generous amount of engine oil on the bearings. This will ensure smooth operation and reduce friction when the crankshaft is in motion. Carefully place the crankshaft into the cylinder block, making sure it aligns perfectly with the bearing. Once the crankshaft is in place, apply oil on the crankshaft journal. This helps in the initial startup and prevents dry friction. Point arrow mark on the cap to crankshaft pulley side and set main bearing caps to the cylinder block by its correct order. Now apply the engine oil to the main journal cap and attach it to over the crankshaft. One number cap is towards timing chain side and then arrange it in sequence. Insert the bolts into the main journal caps. Tighten them in the proper sequence as per the service manual. We will normally match the bolts through the ratchet before applying the torque on the bolts. Whenever you are tightening the bolts, always remember the sequence, because if you are not matching it in a sequence, then it can create a problem during the fitment. So take precaution about the sequence of the bolts. Here we are using a digital torque wrench. We have set a 20 Newton meter of torque into the torque wrench, and we will apply it in a proper sequence to the odd pole. In the torque wrench, you will find there are two lights are given. One is green and another is red. So green line will represent that torque is near to the specified limit, and red will come when you have applied the specified torque, which is set in your torque range. Now, after applying 20 Newton meter of torque, we are going to apply 40 Newton meter of torque to the all bolts. In the service manual, you will get all the specified torques for the particular bolts. Using angle gauge, now we will apply 60° of torque to the main bearing cap bolts. Special notes that apply thread locker to the bolts to prevent it from loosening. After tightening the bolt, mark the bolt or the nut after the final application to ensure that they have been properly torqued, and if they have loosened over time, you can identify it easily. Moving on the pistons, install connecting rod, big and shell bearing. First, place the piston ring cuts ideally 120° apart from each other or as per workshop manual to ensure proper sealing and compression. Apply oil to the cylinder bore before installing the piston into the cylinder bore. When installing the pistons and connecting rod assembly into the cylinder bore, point the front mark on the piston head towards the crankshaft pulley side. Insert the piston and connecting rod assembly into the cylinder bore. Use a special tool to compress the piston rings and guide the connecting rod into the place on the crankshaft. Tap the piston head gently to install the piston into the bore. Hold the ring compressor firmly against the cylinder block until all piston rings enter the cylinder bore. Follow the same process for installing remaining 3 pistons into the cylinder block. Once the pistons are in place, attach the connecting rod journal caps. Apply oil to the journal before securing the caps. Ensure that the numbers or alphabets which is on the side of the caps match properly. Tighten the connecting rod caps with the specified torque and angle as per the service manual. Ensure they are firmly secured. Here we are going to tighten it first with the 15 Nm of torque. After applying torque to the all bolts, we will apply a 65 degree of torque with the help of angle gauge to the all bolts. Torques may be vary from engine to engine, so you have to follow the service manual to select a proper torque for a particular bolts. Next, install a new head gasket onto the engine block. Look for any marking which is representing the block side of the cylinder head gasket. Make sure it's positioned correctly to avoid any leaks. Special note: we can't use old head gasket because once we tighten the bolts, it will change its shape. So that's why we have to always use new head gaskets. Carefully place the cylinder head onto the engine block, aligning it with the new head gasket. Insert the bolts into the cylinder head and tighten them in the proper sequence. With the use of ratchet, we will normally match the bolt and we will follow the proper sequence for matching the bolt. Apply the specified torque and angle as per the service manual. Here we are going to apply 20 Nm of torque to the all bolts. Now we are going to apply 14 Nm of torque to the all bolts. After applying the 14 Nm of torque to the all bolts, we will apply 60 degree of torque to the all bolts, and then again we will apply 60 degree of torque to the all bolts with the help of angle gauge. And that's it. We have successfully assembled the crankshaft, pistons and cylinder head. In our next video, we will cover the installation of camshaft and timing belt. Thank you for watching.